This is the BMW X3 and it's a little bit like a Hugo Boss tracksuit because it's designed to be comfy, practical and a little bit sporty. Plus, of course, it's German. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this car. I'm going to talk you around the exterior, the interior, take it for a drive, tell you what's good about it, nice, what's not so good about it, ugh. And of course I'm going to launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. Buy, sell, Carwow. Let's start this video by talking about the design of the X3. So a couple of years ago, BMW just gave it a midlife facelift with some revised bumpers and lights and stuff like that. Not major changes. I do quite like the 3D effect of the lights. Not so sure about the rear bumper though, with this fake diffuser. Those exhausts are real though, thank God. They lead directly into the pipe. That is good. I like that. Less keen on this fake vent bit there. Anyhow, wheel sizes start at 19 inches. These are 20s, although you can get 21s. Don't think you need 21s. 20s are fine. Moving down the sides, it's got like creases in the doors and this side skirt that pushes out slightly, makes it look sporty. And this being the M Sport, you get either blue or red calipers. You choose. This is less sporty though. Fake vent there. It's totally fake, pointless. Moving to the front, and it really is not a looker. This being the M Sport, it has a more aggressive lower bumper. Other models, slightly less so, but yeah. At least these vents aren't fake. Don't know what's going on there, really. It's not the best looking car in its segment, is it? Anyhow, pricing, it starts from £47,000. Now, if you want to see how much money you can save on a BMW X3 through Carwow, or any car for that matter, just click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below to go to Carwow. Now, if you want to do that at a later date and need some help choosing which car to buy, just simply Google "Help Me Carwow" and we will help you choose your ideal car and get it for a fair price from one of our trusted dealers. Here on the inside, the only major update that BMW made to this car a couple of years ago as part of that facelift was to upgrade the infotainment system with a bigger central screen and fully digital dials. Though this now seems a little bit out of date compared to BMW's latest and beautiful curved infotainment screens. One good thing about this older system though, climate control is controlled using buttons here, easy access, rather than having to dig around in the menus on the screen. I like that. I'd like that off as well. There we go. In terms of the design, yeah, it's pretty nice, you know, it's all right, it's functional. Not quite as interesting to sit in as a Genesis GV70. And if you don't know what that car is, then you definitely should click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to see my review of it. It's basically Hyundai's version of Lexus Genesis, and it's a luxury Korean SUV. In terms of quality, always good perceived quality in the BMW. Here in the X3, things only feel a little bit cheap when you reach lower down and you get, well, that's not scratchy actually. There it is though. Can't fault how it's screwed together. Look, the centre console wobble test, that's a definite pass. Right, here you have another control for the infotainment system. So it's a touchscreen, but you can use an old-fashioned swivel wheel if you want. And then you've got your driving controls here with your nubbin of a gear selector. The driving position itself is pretty good. Usually is in BMWs, and there's plenty of adjustment. Look at this. Look at that in the steering wheel and the seats. So big or small, you will get comfy. And I quite like these upgraded sport seats you get with the M Sport version, as well as the M Sport branded steering wheel and the M tricolor here on the seat belts. Adds a little bit of extra interest to the cabin. In terms of the practicality, it's pretty good. Look, largest central cubby, got USB-C in there. Underneath here, you have two cup holders. Look, yeah, for bottles and stuff like that. Wireless charging pad, and then this is the holder for the key, which is handy. There's another USB there, an old-fashioned one for your mum. Glove box is an okay-ish size, but it's lined with felt so things don't rattle about in there. Door bins though, they be big. Look, huge, bottle, huge. Fit. And then there's more space behind it. So where's the, oh, there it is. The bottle I had earlier, there we go. Plus, down here, we have another storage area there. Perfect for your keys or random things you might have with you. I'm going to be losing that, never going to see it again. We're going back to BMW. Anyway, let's check out the back seats. Well, there's plenty of headroom. Lots of knee room. You can stretch out underneath the seat in front. The seat bases are quite deep, which is good, but a slight problem with this plug-in hybrid version is the fact that there's some batteries underneath the floor here, and that means the footwells aren't quite so deep as on the normal internal combustion engine only X3s. So your knees are a bit higher than they would otherwise be, which means you have less under thigh support, which for longer journeys makes it slightly less comfortable. Now this isn't a problem you have in the plug-in hybrid version of the Volvo XC60. That really is my only complaint though, because there is lots of room here in the back. You've got a big middle seat, and while there is a hump to straddle, there is enough room here in the back for 3 adults. It's not bad at all, to tell you the truth. And that brings me on to fitting a child seat. There's enough space back here to even manoeuvre a big bulky rear facing seat in, and the ISOFIX anchor points are just so easy to get to. Look, it's enough of that. Other things I like about this car, this. I can recline the seat backs. Also, check this out. Armrest, and you have cup holders that are covered, so you don't end up putting your wrist in them when you're not using them. There's through loading as well, so you can carry longer items and have 2 people either side. Well, sorry, 1 person each side, 2 people in total. You know what I'm going on about. You got some storage there, big door bins, climate control here in the rear, and 2 USB-C ports. And the rear windows, they go all the way down, which is handy. Let some fresh air in. Oof. I'm quite impressed. But will I be as impressed with this car's boot? I've got a feeling I won't be, and I'll show you why now. You see, the batteries for the hybrid are even more intrusive here in the boot, because that's where most of them are kept. As you can see, you end up with this ridge. That makes it harder to get heavy items in and out, because you have to slide them off this ridge and then manoeuvre them. That's not the biggest problem though. This lump of batteries actually reduces the boot capacity on the X3 from 550 litres, which is pretty good, down to 450 litres for this plug-in hybrid. Now there are some things that are good, like look, 12-volt socket, little hook to hang stuff off, a few tie-down points, and when you fold down the rear seats, look, you get a lot more space, and it's actually okay to slide heavy items in. What's annoying though is when you have to get them back out again, because this ridge from the batteries creates a lip that makes it a real pain to lift heavy stuff over. And that most certainly brings you on to 5 annoying things about the BMW X3. If you look here, you will see that the doors don't quite cover the sills fully. That means that if you've been driving in muddy conditions and you get out, because the sills extend as well, you always end up just rubbing the backs of your legs over those sills, and then the muck gets transferred onto your trousers, which is not good. The EV only range on this car is pretty pathetic. It's 31 miles on a full charge. By comparison, an Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid has a range of 39 miles, a Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid 48 miles, and a Mercedes GLC plug-in hybrid 80 miles. As if that wasn't bad enough, this particular car is pretty much almost 100% full of charge, and it's saying the range on electric only is actually just 14 miles. One of the problems with the extendable seat bases on the BMW X3 is that you can often tell if someone has been eating in your car when you've lent it to them. Look at all these crumbs. Who the heck has been enjoying almond covered croissants? For some reason, you can't adjust the height of the seat belt in the X3 like you can in its competitors. Why not? Oh no, look at this. There is no little washer system for the rear view camera. It means that when you're driving along and it's mucky conditions, this gets covered in grime, and the only way to get it off so you can see where you're reversing is to wipe it with your finger. However, it's not all bad. This does bring me on to 5 cool things about the BMW X3. For instance, the surround view camera you can get on the X3 is absolutely brilliant. Look at it. It's like you're playing a video game, and of course you can control it with gestures. Oh, there's some other things this car can do. It's got something called a reversing assistant. What that means is that if I drive forward like this, ooh, maybe go this way. If I put the car into reverse, it'll actually remember exactly where I went. So I just control the accelerator and it'll do the steering for me, which makes it easier to get out of tight parking spaces, because you don't have to do anything. The car will remember the way you came in and take you out exactly the same way. You can preheat or pre-cool the car remotely using the key. Just set the temperature you will want it at inside the car, press this button, and then it'll just get it all set for you. So it's the right temperature when you get in it. This is a load cover. This is supposed underfloor storage. Does the load cover fit in storage area? It appears it bloody well does. Bravo! Many automatic cars have paddle shifters so you can change gears manually yourself, but most of them will automatically shift up if you rev it all the way to the red line. Not this BMW X3 though. It may be a family-friendly SUV and it may be a plug-in hybrid, but if you don't change up yourself on time, it'll have you pinging off the limiter like a sports car. Oh yes, a BMW is a true driver's machine. All X3s have all-wheel drive and an 8-speed automatic gearbox. But which engine choice should you go for and which trim level? Well, to help you out, I am going to configure my ideal BMW X3 using the CarWow configurator. If you want to find out what the model is and the saving through CarWow, just click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to go to CarWow. Now I'm going to drive it. Let's start off this drive in town. So I've put the car into electric only mode. Silent, as you'd expect. They're all silent, aren't they, the plug-in hybrids, when you're just cruising along. One thing that is a bit annoying about this particular car is that it doesn't have one pedal driving. So if I lift off the accelerator, the regen effect to slow me down really isn't there. It's quite unusual. I wonder if you can actually increase that. I'm not sure, but a bit disappointed. It's just rolling forwards almost like a normal internal combustion engine car. Definitely no one pedal driving. You will have to use the brakes. So let me just tickle the brakes, see if they feel natural. Bit spongy actually at first. I'm going to just turn around, test out the manoeuvrability. So the turning circle on this is 12 meters. Not quite as good as a Volvo XC60. In fact, if you click up there on the pop-out banner, you can see my full in-depth video review of that car. Now though, I think I'm going to have to engage the cameras to see where I'm going. Come on cameras. I'm not going to make that round. No chance. I mean, that was quite a big ask anyway, but here we go, 3-point turn. Oh. Thankfully the steering is quite light in town, it's not bad at all. And visibility is pretty good as well, door mirrors are fine. View out the back window is okay, it's not brilliant but it's not bad either. And general comfort levels when you're just pootling about are fairly decent. This particular car is fitted with the upgraded adaptive dampers. It's worth noting that the plug-in hybrid doesn't feel quite as comfortable as a standard X3 because it's heavier, so it just doesn't go over bumps quite so well. Speaking of which, if you go for an M Sport version of one of the normal combustion engine models, they have stiffer suspension and that does affect the comfort yet again. So be warned, do you want maximum comfort from your X3, go for a basic petrol engine car with smaller wheels and the normal suspension setup. It's a little tip from your friendly motoring journalist. Anyway, let's try this thing on slightly faster roads. So here we go, I'm going to floor it. Slight delay, kind of thing that you expect with these plug-in hybrids. No better, no worse than the competition. And then it took off pretty well. In fact, decent performance, I'd say. The engine, they can be a little bit on the noisy side, especially the diesels when you accelerate. This plug-in hybrid with the 2-litre turbo petrol isn't too bad. And when you're cruising along, it's all quite relaxing. I'd say the only thing that I'm noticing is quite a bit of road noise. I don't think this car is quite as relaxing to just cruise on the motorway as a Lexus NX. That is a bit of a left field choice, but if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car and why I think it is actually one of the very best hybrids, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to go watch my video. As for the economy, well, this thing is supposed to do 109 miles to the gallon, but I'm getting just over 33. Yeah, if you're doing lots of motorway miles, get a diesel. Really, you have to be driving quite a bit round town and charging the car regularly to get anywhere near BMW's claim figure for the plug-in hybrid. Anyway, I'm really going to knacker the efficiency now because we come to a twisty road and I'm going to go into sports mode with extra boost, which means maximum power from the electric motor. Right, let's see how this thing handles. A BMW is supposed to be fun regardless of whether it's an SUV or a sports car. Yeah, I can feel that extra boost now. The throttle response is actually really, really good. It's like the turbocharged engine and that electric motor just working so well together. I can go into manual mode for the gearbox, change gear myself using these paddles, and generally the gearbox seems pretty quick. It's not a dual clutch system like you get in an Audi Q5, but for this type of car, yeah, the changes are fast enough. It also handles pretty well. Plenty of grip when you go around the corners, doesn't lean too much. That said, because this car has the adaptive dampers, they are stiffer in the sporty setting. But yeah, it goes where you point it, it grips around corners, very, very BMW-like. It's a fine handling car. Though I should point out, yet again, the plug-in hybrid handles the least well of the X3s because, once again, all of that weight. The best handling versions are the M40i and the M40D because they have special sporty suspension, plus they have 6-cylinder engines with loads of power. They're my favourite ones, obviously. However, that does bring us on to how quick this plug-in hybrid version is when you launch it. BMW says the plug-in hybrid version of this X3 should do 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. Going to find out the reality now using my specialist timing gear. I'm going to launch it. It says launch control. It has a launch control. Did it help? 6.35. Ah, that's a shame. That was slower than claimed. I actually wasn't expecting that, especially with launch control. Wasn't expecting that either, but yeah, didn't help. So then, what's my final verdict on the BMW X3? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, for the internal combustion engine BMW X3, I'd say shortlist it. It's a good car. For this plug-in hybrid though, I'd avoid it and instead get the Mercedes GLC plug-in hybrid. It's just got way more electric range. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Click on those windows there for more videos. And on that box there to go to CarWow to sell your car the easy way. All you have to do is upload some photos of your car, give a brief description, then dealers all across the country will bid on your car. Pick the highest offer, they'll come to your house, take the car away and put the money into your account. It's easy.